Let's take a look at the results of the experiment, Chemical Properties of Elements. We'll begin by reviewing how we set up the experiment, and then we'll take a look at the results, how we obtained the data that we recorded on the back of the first page. So we started with some compounds, 6 different compounds. Each of these compounds contains a metal nitrate with the elements lithium, sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, or strontium. Those are all metallic elements, and when they react with other substances, these metals lose electrons and become positively charged ions. We combined those compounds with other compounds that contain the negatively charged ions phosphate and carbonate and chloride. We set up an experiment where we would combine each of the metal nitrates with each of those negatively charged ions in all possible combinations. I have right now in these beakers set up in the same order as the data table. I've already put in the 6 metal nitrate substances. So these 3 beakers have lithium, these have sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and strontium substances. And now I'll put in the chloride negative ion to see if it reacts or not with any of the substances that we're testing. What we're looking for is a chemical reaction that forms an insoluble material. When you look at the substances that we're starting with, you see that they're all clear, colorless solutions, which means that the materials that are in there are completely soluble in water. Chloride doesn't make any insoluble compounds with the substances that are being tested. So there's nothing there that we can use to tell any differences among these 6 compounds and the way that the elements react. So let's see if the carbonate gives us some other information. If we put carbonate into each of the 6 metallic nitrate compounds, we'll see if any of them give us reactions. Magnesium, calcium, and strontium all show a chemical reaction. Some insoluble material is formed, and carbonate then reacts with something that's in the compounds that contain magnesium, calcium, and strontium, but not lithium, sodium, and potassium. Likewise with phosphate, putting the phosphate ions into solutions here. Okay, magnesium, calcium, and strontium again have reactions with the phosphate, but the lithium, sodium, and potassium did not. Something in these 6 compounds is reacting or not with the 3 negatively charged ions that we tested. So on your data table, make sure that you circled for the for the chloride reactions, that there were no reactions among any of the 6 substances that we tested. For the ammonium carbonate reactions, that the first 3, lithium, sodium, and potassium, no reaction, the last 3 a reaction. And for the ammonium phosphate reactions, only reactions with magnesium, calcium, and strontium. Next, we'll take a look at the results and what they mean.